It's like 20 days away from my birthday. It's kind of sad. I kind of put a damper on my mood. It's May 8th. That's my birthday. I'm going to turn 23. That'll put a damper on my mood, I think. I don't want to turn older because it feels like I haven't done shit. I was feeling okay today, actually. Despite all the shit that happened to me, by the way. Because let me tell you. Oh, boy. Man. Life goes too quickly. You don't realize the time slipping by. It will be a B-Day stream. I mean, it's on a Thursday, so I would assume so. I don't know what I would do. Anything, maybe, I don't know if there's going to be anything special happening. I may have gotten sub 3 by then. I may have not. Probably not. There's a world of possibility. My blah is arriving next week. Well, congratulations. I'm happy about your blah. The AI overview is the blah is a blue shark toy sold by IKEA. It's a popular internet meme, especially within the transgender community, and has gained symbolic significance as a symbol of the community. The plush toy is made from recycled polyester. Thank you, Google AI. What would I do without you? The second question, the third question on people also ask is why is blah a femboy icon? That's a great question, man. That is a fantastic question, honestly. And you know what? I couldn't give you the answer. I don't know. It's a fucking cute shark. I don't know if it's that complicated. Oh, brother. Oh, it's a night. It's a day. For sure it's a day. It's one of the days. Maybe of all time, man. Maybe of all time. Golly. Blah. Blah means blue shark. I'm probably mispronouncing it horribly, but honestly, I'm freaking badass. I don't take no. I don't take no. I don't. I'm badass. Is cute shark. I don't know if it's that complicated. Let's game, shall we? I'm thinking we just fucking... Amazing. I think I want level 7 practice. I think that's kind of what we need, just to make myself feel good about my life. And then after level 7 happens, I think I just need level 7, and then probably just straight to 9. Probably a little bit of 8 would also be good, just to get familiar with it, just to warm up, honestly. More of a warm up than anything. So a decent amount chunk of level 7. I should, that's not my name, first of all. And second of all, I should get a fucking job that pays me. First. And foremost. It's boring, I know. But I am trapped by the idea that I somehow need to, you know, I need to do this all on my own, and I must defend myself. I must provide before I can be worth. I must be independent. It's the most important thing. I must be independent. Completely. Nobody can help me. It is all me. You still filled with propaganda? Maybe. I don't know. The propaganda has reached too deeply, though, if it is propaganda. Because I do. I desperately want to be independent. I want to be able to do everything by myself. Getting a job is the first priority. Read Marx. I feel like I'm too red-pilled on Marx to read him. Also, I did read him. I read a decent chunk of Marx in like in multiple political science classes that I took. Because if there's one motherfucker that the goddamn political science people want you to read, it is Marx. He came up multiple times. Probably because he was a pretty significant, like, idealist philosopher. Even if his, like... I think the problem is that people kind of misinterpret what Marx is useful for, right? Marx is not useful for, like, practical solutions to societal problems, okay? His practical solutions are idealistic, if not completely ridiculous. But I think that some of the fundamental analyses that he puts down on the way that certain systems work and the way that he kind of looks at things, I think it's valuable as a lens to kind of look through to understand, well, what the hell is actually happening here. That's why Marx is so, cited and relevant. People want to demonize him because they don't because they misinterpret how he's supposed to be used as a tool. Marx is a Bible. I think that's stupid. Like I said, I think that every day that we go by that there hasn't been a revolution to eat the rich or whatever is just another statement of how wrong Marx was on how he thought society was going to end up. And I'm not hating on Marx for that. I think it's very hard to make predictions like that. But again, there is useful analysis to be gleaned from his work. I haven't read all of Marx's stuff. I read what was the big one that he wrote? Because that's not the one that I wrote. It might be Copy Talk. Because there was two. There was the book Les Communism. I don't know. There was he wrote a couple of things. I am forgetting. Now, I'm not going to lie. When they said read Marx, I kind of just skimmed through it. Like I did for most things, okay? Reading for my political philosophy class was really hard. Have you ever tried to read a philosopher? Don't, by the way, if you were wondering. Don't read philosophers. They suck because they can't write. They literally, they functionally cannot write good. And it is miserable as fuck to read them. Just don't do it. It's not worth it. Do anything else with your time. Marx grade? No, Karl Marx, I don't know what to call him. Philosopher? Economist? Economist? He did a lot. He was kind of he was a jack of all trades. Karl Marx. He was the guy who he was a big innovator on American Christmas traditions. Where do you think that the idea of a wreath or a carol came from? It was from him. Why do you think it's called that? I think people just like carol better. Or wreath. Or, any of the many other things that he brought to the table. You know why cranberries are so popular during the wintertime? That was Karl Marx. Yeah. So basically, so cranberries initially originated inside of America, but they were often seen as kind of like a lower class food, especially back in the day, because cranberries were so plentiful that they were seen as this lower class food. And so for a while, they stopped being produced because people didn't want to look like they were low class. Rich people didn't want to eat them, and poor people, they couldn't produce enough cranberries to meet the demand, so it just wasn't worth because people wouldn't pay enough for them, right? They would need to jack up the prices on them to actually make a profit, and they couldn't sell them to rich people with those jacked up prices, and poor people wouldn't buy them because they were too expensive. So they were kind of in this middle ground where they weren't really being produced. Until eventually Karl Marx came around and started, kind of advocating them a lot more. He did a lot of research into them and just started kind of inventing a lot of ways that you can use them, especially, with the advent of turkeys becoming more and more popular as a poultry option as opposed to chicken. And those kind of things kind of synced up really nicely, where cranberries started to regain a lot of that lost popularity because it became much less of a class thing. No, I'm lying. All of that is bullshit. Everything I just said was a complete fucking lie, by the way. That just proves, okay? You got to be careful. I love doing that. That is one thing that I took from my father. Just fucking lying. Just making shit up and lying. That's the one thing I took from my dad. Shout out to my father. Because he would just do that. He would just pretend like he knew shit, and he would just make this long-winded explanation about something. And I'm like, is that real? And he'd be like, nah. I'm like, that's sick. That is an El Clasico dad bit. Do you fuck with his theories on history? I don't feel like I am well versed enough on his theories of history to give it a fucking check mark or not. I'm just saying that I think that there's a reason why he is still so widely, recognized and seen inside of the political philosophy community, and that's because he is valuable. Read Capital? I will not do that. You know what I am reading? I'm reading a fucking manga, and it's actually kind of goated. I'm not gonna lie. I'm kind of fucking with it heavy. I don't. Back in my political philosophy class, I used to ask ChatGPT to give me summaries of the papers that I was supposed to read because I could not fucking read them for the life of me, nor did I want to. It was not required, so I didn't. I know why capitalism sucks. I don't need fucking Karl Marx to tell me why capitalism sucks. Capitalism sucks, but it's more complicated than that, unfortunately. I don't know. Because like how do you like for every action that is positive and beneficial towards workers, it is also negative and harmful towards workers. For as much as I hate shareholders and the things that they kind of do to the way that companies have to operate in this economy, all my retirement savings are in fucking shareholders. How will I beat inflation? How will I save until retirement? How will I retire without the stock market, without something that is consistently being able to beat inflation? How does that happen? The boom bust cycle is kind of maybe I don't know if the boom bust cycle is a contingent on. No, I think the boom bust cycle is kind of just an inherent system in economics. I think that's kind of what I've come to. I think that the boom bust cycle is kind of a necessary evil with the way that we do economics, because people are inherently idealistic, and they will always try to get get the jump on things. The boom bust cycle is not ideal, but it is it is not ideal, but it is kind of a requirement. They need to regulate banks again. I think I'm not opposed to that. You're not wrong. And I think because the boom bust cycle exists, like there needs to be some way to protect there needs to be some way to protect your money from getting fucked over by there needs to be some way to protect your money from getting fucked over by inflation. By the necessary ebbs and flows of an economy. There needs to be some way to protect that money. And right now, the stock market is kind of the only way to do that. The stock market is the ultimate protection. Your money will always maintain value inside of the stock market. It will never lose. If it loses value, then the stock market has lost value. Stock market directly due to this? I feel like it's more complicated than that. I think that's I don't think I have the necessary economic education to make commentary on that. I have an idea for what I think is correct or what is right and wrong, but I am not I don't think reading a couple of fucking books on that Karl Marx wrote in the 19 whatevers is gonna constitute a complex and rigorous economic education insofar as I am willing to propose theories or state things as fact. I don't think if I wanted to understand the way that the modern economy works, I don't think the first person I would look at is Marx. I think Marx is more useful for his philosophical points about the economy as opposed to his actual analysis of the economy. Book of Facts. That I feel like this is like the opposite of like the red pill. This is the blue pill on Karl Marx. This is actually the blue pill on Karl Marx. Cheap Opinions on the Little Prince? Is that like a book? One of my favorite movies ever is The Princess Bride. It's a book about a lot of things. What is it sexist? Maybe I'm just like boy-brained, but I feel like I've got very little sexism from The Princess Bride. It could literally just be like boy-brain though. I felt like a very like what am I thinking of? It just felt like a kind of a very classical, you know. Please explain why it's sexist, because I actually was like, I was going through this. I was on Reddit and I saw a post, somebody claiming that fucking the Alien movie was sexist. Or like, sorry, not Alien movie, but the Aliens movie. It's incredibly sexist. I need to fucking understand. Is something inherently sexist because women inhabit traditionally feminine roles that have to be inherently sexist? I gotta look this up. I feel like I'm tripping balls. To be fair, I haven't watched The Princess Bride in like a hot minute, so maybe I do have to like rewatch. Hold on, I gotta, because now I feel like I'm reading some random article. What? Okay, I gotta rewatch. I gotta reread the movie. I'm just gonna read through the summary, the plot summary of it on fucking Wikipedia, because now I feel like I'm tripping crazy balls. I could be so wild, dude. Okay. I don't think that makes it. I think if that's the reason why it's sexist, that feels stupid. Yeah, I know. The men tend to have more agency than the women do. Okay. I don't think that inherently has to make it sexist. I don't know. Are we not allowed to, like, I don't want to say, like, you know, like, I'm so lost. I'm sorry, Amelia. You haven't watched The Princess Bride. I don't know, man. It just feels like it feels very innocent. I feel like I don't understand. Man, I'm trying to, like, how do I? Yeah, it's very it is medieval thing. It's like a very simple like princess story. Like the princess like a prince goes to save the princess, right? A prince fights the dragon to save the princess. Like that's the most classical way I could describe it. Now it's of course it's more complicated than that. It's not exactly like that, but it's pretty much like that kind of archetype of a story. The prince goes to save the princess. Is that I think the question is not is that like I think is that model of a story inherently sexist because it gives the women less agency than men? I think I don't yeah, I don't understand I don't again, this I could be super fucking red pilled here. But that it feels like it feels like we're allowed to have stories where men chase and fight after women and women may have a little bit less agency than the men, but that doesn't mean that they're strong. They're not strong or, important. I think the women in The Princess Bride are important. I think that Buttercup, the main character, does plenty to characterize herself, to characterize the people who she's with, to characterize the story. Buttercup is not used as a device only to characterize men. She's not this kind of like emotionless, idealist kind of just tool. She's treated like a character, like a person. A person that's more definitely that has, definitely a princess, a little bit more naive to the world, a little bit less strong, like physically strong or powerful. That doesn't mean that she's not like a character or a person. I don't see a problem. I don't know. It feels like you're being so boy brained. I don't know, man. Because that feels like such a crazy it feels like such a level 1 take to me. Like, this is sexist. Woman has no agency. Ooga booga, immediately sexist. Oh, woman does traditionally feminine things. It's sexist. That feels like a very level 1 take to me. Of like, oh, it's sexist because the woman does traditionally feminine things, right? It feels like, yeah, it's like level 1 sexism. It's like, I thought we were past this. I thought that, like, the real modern feminism is that, women are empowered to choose what they want to be. Women can be stay-at-home mothers. Women can, do traditionally feminine things, and that's okay because it's their choice. I thought that was like the modern fucking take on feminism. And it feels like by just like it I don't know. Not all women have to be fucking empowered all the time, right? Sometimes it's okay to just want to be, sometimes everybody wants a fucking princess to come after them, or a prince to come after them and save them, or a princess. Everybody wants to be saved sometimes. Everybody wants to be saved at some point, Everybody wants to have a prince come chasing after them to protect them. That's like I think that's a universal thing. I think just because we have to like fight against the fucking patriarchy or whatever doesn't mean that women aren't allowed to feel like that anymore. Hello, The Gaming. How are you? Yeah, I was reading like this whole write up, and of course I was on Reddit, which is a terrible idea, and it should never be, done. Normal humans should not engage in Reddit. But here I was on Reddit, and somebody wrote this like giant write up. She's not. I don't know. I don't find her to be. I never found her to be stupid. Weren't there multiple times where she tried to like escape on her own, or she tried to like take some agency in the situation? Wasn't there like an entire scene where she threatened to commit suicide to like prevent them from getting their bounty or whatever? Isn't that like a thing that happened in the story? Am I fucking crazy, or did that not happen? I could be going crazy though. Yeah, she was. Yeah, of course. She was saved by the prince that came to save her. The prince rescued her at the end of the day. It was a great hero's journey. I want to rescue a princess. Can't I want to rescue a princess? I don't know if that has to be sexist inherently. Again, maybe I should just re-watch it, because maybe I just like have totally different takes. But this feels like a very crazy take to me. Especially because like I've never heard this take before. It's such a wildly out of left field take for me to hear. Not that it's wrong, but it's just like, I don't know. I would think that at some point I would like come across the discourse, but no. Yeah, but like I was actually saying about the fucking the Alien movie, apparently, if you guys watch the original Alien movie, the one with like the Xenomorph and Ripley, not Rhea Ripley, but just Ripley, the fucking woman that beat that alien off with a stick. Great movie, by the way. You should watch Alien. It's a fantastic movie. Apparently there was a remake of it called Aliens, and somebody was complaining that they made Ripley into like a more like maternal figure, gave her more I guess more femininity to her character, and they were complaining that was sexist. I was like, that feels strange. Feels like an interesting argument to make, because like the original Ripley was like an inherently kind of an agendered character. But I don't think just because something is, I don't know, it was, honestly, that kind of just reminded me how badass the first Alien was. It's a scary movie. It's one of the only scary movies that like I'm okay with watching, because it was like inherently, it was fucking sick, dude. Alien was, oh man, that was a great movie. Actually fucking horrifying to watch. The Xenomorph is still one of the most like convincing horror monsters I've ever like come across, like ever in all of like fiction. There's only a couple like really scary monsters that really have me like fucking scared. The Xenomorph is one of them. The Xenomorph is fucking terrifying, dude. Scary. Man, just watching those alien scenes. I watch it with my dad. Shout out to my dad. He showed me Alien. He loved that kind of shit. It was like action horror type shit. I'm like, it was fucking sick, dude. The whole Alien universe with like the chest bursters and like the way that they fucking, oh my god. It looking back on it now, it feels a little bit like, feels a little weird, but it's still kind of sick. I cannot hit a frame perfect to save my life, by the way. Shout out to me hitting a frame perfect. Let's play level 9. So yeah, basically what I'm trying to say is that I think sometimes I worry that we are too ooga booga scared of sexism, that we don't allow things to kind of be, I don't know. I'm trying to find a better way to phrase this. I feel like sometimes the sexism demon kind of like prevents us from being able to tell good stories. When we think too hard about it, I think that I think with all things, when you try too hard, I think you lose the plot a little bit. I think it is something important to consider, but I think that when you overfixate on it, I feel like you kind of lose the plot a little bit. But I think that doesn't, that's not like a specifically sexism related thing. That's kind of everything. If you hyper focus on one aspect too much, or look at things through one lens too much, I think that you get like a little brain blasted by like what's actually happening, right? It's why, I find there to be truth. I think the best analysis I can make of this is like, I kind of think that sometimes American Democrats are a little bit too crazy on like programs to help the homeless. Maybe that sounds bad, but I'm going to justify it because I think I'm wording myself badly again. I think sometimes we go a little bit too hard on like relief on aid when we should be setting up for the future. The problem is that I think there needs to be some amount of like man, I feel like I shouldn't relate this to 8. I feel like this is better. Like I said, I feel like sometimes people are too quick to pass off judgment on people, saying like, oh, it was their situation or it was something environmental factor. When at some point, like there needs to be some level of personal blame assigned to people for their actions. There needs to be some level of culpability, right? Here's a really good example. It's like the fucking mob mentality. People will always use this argument of like, oh, it's the mob. When like the mob doesn't control itself, like people will cite these very specific articles about the way that the mob moves, like, oh, the mob when they break windows or like destroy private businesses, it's mob mentality, you know, they shouldn't be held accountable. And I'm like, I don't fucking agree with that, because inside of that mob are full of individuals who have their own individual, you know, thoughts and brains, and they're all in their own unique actions, and they can choose to do this shit, and they chose to fucking burn down that business, and I think they should be held liable for that because they're fucking idiots. I think that this justification of like the mob, I think that's like a very brain dead take. Of course there are elements of like pressure and social pressure and, you know, being pressured in social situations to do certain things or to act in certain ways. I'm not gonna disagree with that, but I think there needs to be a middle ground there. Yeah. That's a really good example for what I'm trying to get at. There can be analysis of like the greater factors that add to things, but there can also be there can also be better stuff. We can be better. We can give ourselves agency, and I think we need to give ourselves agency. Read the article. Exactly. In Minecraft, you need to have agency, okay? Just because you're mad at Notch for inventing creepers doesn't mean that you could have put up your shield faster when he tried to blow up on you, okay? You have agency. It wasn't Notch's fault that the creeper exploded in your face. It was your fault for not fucking defending yourself. You know, you have to have agency, individual agency. Now, of course, there is blame to be put. Like the fact that creepers exist certainly is Notch's fault, but there are plenty of ways to no, it's more like, yeah, someone punched you in the face, but also you probably shouldn't have told them that you were glad that their mother died, right? Like, yeah, being punched in the face is not good, and you shouldn't have to go through that. But also, you shouldn't tell people that that you're happy that their mother died. Okay, you can't do that shit. You have to take some accountability for your actions here. Okay, I'm gonna read the article. I'm actually not gonna read the article because I want to confirm my own biases, and that's the real shit. And that's real shit. I'm going to confirm my own biases and not read the article because I'm so based. Here comes victim blaming. Yeah, that's a hard question. I think it's just, unfortunately, it's just a very fuzzy line. There's kind of like it's hard to draw like a line because each situation is different, right? It's unfortunately a fuzzy line. I'll get back to this topic soon. I'm going to read this article. The Princess Bride providing 4 female representation? Inconceivable. When I watched Princess Bride as a child, my mind takeaways that I loved Buttercup's orange dress. I wanted cool flowery hair. You can survive poison if you train yourself. And cool shit. It's... According to Bell Hooks, it's important to develop an oppositional gaze when analyzing films. Who the fuck is Bell Hooks? According to Bell Hooks? What is... Oh. Sorry, it just wasn't capitalized. That's kind of... Is it not? Is Bell Hooks not supposed to be capitalized? I guess not. Some things do capitalize it, some things don't. That seems... Okay, Okay, that's just... Alright. Maybe... Okay. Showing its ability to critique the film. By being aware of the absence of correct representation is important in giving the notion not to identify with the female's imaginary subject because such identification is disenabling. When you use an oppositional gaze to analyze the female role. I don't know. I'm not loving this. This feels like... Our past experiences of romantic films allow these negatives. Fantasy movies should be. Static throughout the movie. I don't know if I agree with this analysis because I never thought that the princess was the main character. Princess Buttercup is not the main character. I don't think she was ever meant to be the main character. I think by putting her as the main character, I think that you kind of misinterpret the film a little bit. She's an object to the main character. Yeah, she's important, but that doesn't mean that she lacks characterization. What? Maybe. Maybe I should just rewatch the film. The Bechdel test? Oh no, I don't. That is such a. Okay, whatever, dude. I don't buy this Bechdel test thing. Boy brain, maybe. I don't know. I think I am again too fucking. I think there's certainly a level of like what's the word I'm looking for? There's certainly a level of nostalgia I have for the film that's probably blinding the way I'm looking at this. But Google the test. Yeah, I read the fuck about the test in the paper. It just seems like not. I don't know. Yeah, I don't. GD Colon. Is that his name? GD Colon? GD Cologne? Or is it? It's Colon? I don't know. That's just really funny. Colon is just funny. That he would name himself that. Colon is funny. You see the issue? I don't know, man. Maybe I'm fucking crazy. But this just feels like... Again, this just feels like a level 1 take. Again, I could also be totally fucking wrong here. I could be super duper wrong. But it feels like we are kind of... This very much feels like because woman does not fucking... Because woman is not as strong as man, the inherently sexism. right? Sexism is a result. I don't know. That just feels like maybe my wording again is not the best, but this feels like not the. It's like a very basic take on the way that like sexism actually happens. I think just because a woman is an object of a man's desire doesn't mean that it's inherently a bad thing or a sexist thing. I think that a woman can be important in that way. I think that's fine. It's just, you know, how that is treated more so, right? Again, I think I'm just going to try to rewatch the film probably and then give you an analysis. I'm going to rewatch the film because again, guess what I haven't done in a while? Rewatch the film. So I will give you I will rewatch the film and I'll give you the God's honest shot of like, hey, do I think this is sexist? But The Little Prince is still based. I'm sure of it. I'm sure it is. Finish the article? No. I didn't finish the other article that I read, which said The Princess Bride is not sexist. The one that I read. And so I'm not going to finish this one. That'd be unfair. Also, this reads like a college essay. And I am finished writing those, and I'm finished reading those. It feels like it. I don't know. I don't like the formatting of the way a lot of college essays I think are formatted. I don't think they actually do a good job of like analysis, right? I think it's very much like you have a point and you're trying to like prove that point. Example A, example B, example C, and it's like, okay, well, like it's a little bit more because it's very easy to like, you know, if you're trying to like holistically look at the film, it's like there's probably like. I'm not going to continue to have this argument because it's not an argument I can't have in good faith because, again, guess who hasn't watched the film in a while? I'm not going to continue to have this argument. I've said what I think. Hey, I kind of inherently come from the position that this is not sexist because I think that sexism is a little bit more complicated than just women have no power, therefore is sexist. I think it's a little bit more complicated than that. Should buy the Little Prince book? Maybe I should. I don't know. I'll try, bro. Again, I look. Maybe the woke mind virus ain't real, but this feels like if it was real, you know, this is where it starts, bro. This is where the woke mind virus begins. If I was a conservative father and I heard this argument that we were having, I would be furious. You're talking about a good classic? Bro would be furious right now, okay? You're saying what about The Princess Bride? In this house, that movie's a classic. You're so stupid. Maybe I am, bro. Maybe I am. But I think that you are also just as stupid as I am. And I think that you pretend to be whole lot smarter than I am. And I don't think that's entirely true. Sometimes I am stupid. I think sometimes I'm very based. But I'm not allowed to be based. I'm very based sometimes. Don't worry. Oh, I'm sure. Again, I am also somebody, like, I've said this before, but I'm not somebody that will have their fucking minds changed, like, instantly, okay? Like, you can't just provide me some, like, something and, like, say, like, oh, this is true, and then I'll say, like, oh, right? I am certainly somebody who, it takes a little bit of, I need to, like, understand, like, I think that the best thing you can do is, like, plant seeds of doubt in my brain of, like, am I actually fucking crazy? And I think you have effectively done that. So you won't get like the fucking, you know, the me saying, oh, you were right the whole time. Like, you won't get that from me. You won't get the full retraction instantly. It takes a little bit of time, but if the seeds of doubt get proven correct, and I look at it again, I'm like, oh shit, maybe he's onto something, or she. Then you cook, and then you get a plaque on the wall of saying you changed Sheep's mind on something. You get a little reward, It's like a participation trophy. It's painted like it's gold, but it's actually plastic. I remember watching somebody on this. Like somebody was like people have this idea that like agreeability or like the ability to like reconsider is like people are willing to change their minds instantly the moment they see new evidence. Like I don't think that person is like the peak of what it should be, of what it means to be a thinker. I think to be a smart person is to be somebody where it takes a little bit, to change their minds, right? Like I said, if I said some shit and Rose was like, I think you're fucking tripping balls, and I say, well, no, I'm not tripping balls. Here's why. And then he was like, fuck it, right? That's not changing his mind, but there's fucking her mind, but there's seeds of doubt there, right? That's all that matters, is the seeds of doubt. As long as I'm putting seeds of doubt enough where you're questioning it a little bit, that's a win. That is victory. Because we're not stupid people. You fuck with worker co-ops. I have concerns. They don't feel very tenable, but because it's an unfair distribution of risk versus reward, right? That's why I don't really understand worker co-ops. They feel like an unfair distribution of risk versus reward. It feels like as an employee you take very little risk, but you get a very huge reward by being able to have literal controlling shares in the business. While as the owner, the investor, the founder, feels like you take on a lot more risk, and you're asked then to cede control to workers when they took on none of the risk, and you will get like not as much reward as maybe you deserve for the amount of risk that you took, right? I think it's a very like worker-centered mindset, right? When in reality there are multiple different parties that, deserve to be thought of, right? % worker shares. Again, did they put in 51% of the money? Did they take on 51% of the debt to start the business? If I started a fucking business and I went out and I got a loan for $50,000 to start my business, and now my business is worth $50,000, I'm supposed to suddenly give up half of that to fucking workers? They don't take out that loan. If that loan defaults, it's not on them. And now they're allowed to vote on how I run my business. I think it's a very different, like it's very easy to like understand worker co-ops when you think about them in terms of large corporations. But when you think about them in smaller terms, in terms of like these little mom and pop shops, suddenly, the calculus changes on like, well, hold on. This doesn't seem exactly fair. That's why, and it's one of like this is one of the problems, kind of like one of the core, what's the word I'm looking for? One of the core things about one of the core disagreements with capitalism. Why are you so awesome sometimes? Well, no, it's just the way that capitalism is, right? Where it's like, for every good thing that we have, there's a million different layers of baggage that come with it, right? The reason why we have so many great things, the reason why we have so many cool inventions, the reason why America has created so many amazing things, or like the world has created so many great things, is because capitalism allows us and gives people the rewards for making cool shit. If you make something that is sufficiently cool, then you will get a sufficient award, reward for it. Whoever invented the iPhone, fucking Steve Wozniak or whatever the fuck, he got fucking buku bucks, and Apple got buku bucks. Now, it's more complicated than that. Something business, something Steve Jobs is an asshole. But, like, still, he made something that was very useful, and now his company's like the biggest company in the fucking world, right? But in that, the fact that we have that system means that workers at Apple get perpetually fucked over. The janitor's making minimum wage, and he can't support his fucking mortgage. Okay, so it's like, yeah, for this good thing that we have, there's a million different bad things that come with it. And it feels like that's kind of like inherent with capitalism. That's why like solving for so many of these problems is so difficult. Because it's hard to separate the good from the bad. You can't only have the good and only leave the bad. My dad runs his own business with a few employees. The employees get shares in the company as encouragement for loyalty and to work hard at the end of the year. My dad takes the excess profit and puts an equal bonus in the company. He's very successful and reliable. Do this. He owns the majority share. Do they own controlling shares? That's the question. I think giving your employees stock in the company, I think that's cool. But do they own controlling shares? Do they have a voice? Are they allowed to vote in this company? Because as a private organization, that works very differently. Private organization is very, very different. But owning who makes the decisions, right? When they decide, which companies they're going to work with or who they're going to do business with, who makes that decision at the end of the day? Who is the person that has the power in that situation? Who says, we're going to do business here, we're not going to do business here? And I think that the answer to that is because I also have a father who runs a business. And I know for a fact that my dad is, or for a little bit when he ran his own business before, other stuff happened and now he's old now. But when he was younger and he ran his own businesses, he was the CEO, right? He was a good CEO. He paid his employees well. He fucking provided all the necessary things, health insurance, all that good stuff, bonuses. Like, I know for a fact that he pays his fucking interns very well compared to the market. I know that for a fact. But he was still the fucking guy in charge, right? It was no worker co-op. Exactly. Then it's not like what you're not looking at is a worker co-op. What you're looking at is somebody who is good underneath a bad system, a good actor in a bad system. That's what you're looking at. That's what your dad is, and I think your dad should be very proud of that. I think that's a very good thing for him to do. It's brave to be like that when it's very easy to be selfish. To be good is hard, and that should be celebrated. But that doesn't prove your example that worker co-ops should, are good. Unfortunately, there's too many problems I think inherently with worker co-ops that make them untenable in at least the current system that we have in place. Lay capitalism, everybody. Alright, I think I'm happy with my level 10. Level 10 is getting a lot better, I will say. I feel a lot happier with the way level 10 is working right now. I think level 11 is still just gonna kind of be a fucking gambling rink, unfortunately. Gambling rink is maybe a bad word. It's just gambling. There's no way to do level 11 consistently. It is always gambling. Once I kind of get the vibes on when I should be pressing buttons. You're coping, low-key? Maybe I am coping, but I don't know. Do you actually get better at 11? Maybe I just haven't found the consistency. Right? I think the thing with 10 is that I thought level 10 was like super sucky for a while until I found the consistency. Right? I found the way in my mind to make it consistent, or I found the strategy to make it consistent. Right? I found the consistency. I think that's what I'm kind of missing. And the problem with level 11 is that it is so easy. It's so simple. There's nothing like objectively difficult about 11. It is so easy to understand. It's just the process of doing. Also, I just hate practicing 11 because practicing 11 fucking sucks and it's no fun. I would not actively want to practice 11. I would not want to go out of my way to say, oh, let's practice 11, guys. No. Nobody wants to do that shit. Maybe I'll just fucking spend an hour on it. Maybe I'll just government mandated 1 hour of practicing level 11 until I want to tear my fucking hair out and scream. It is government mandated. Maybe I am just saying it because the first time I ever reached 11 in a run, I nailed it. Well, I almost nailed it. I shouldn't say I nailed it. I almost nailed it. I didn't nail it because I was stupid. I wish I had something to sit down on and grind on. Let me rephrase. Let me rephrase. I think you're correct, dog. Does this mean I've officially completed 11? Answer me. I have to fucking read your message though, and it's big and long. Sorry. I will indulge in your message. I've been doing this for 7 years. Alright, I've been doing this for 7 years. Alright, old man. I know I do, but sometimes. I see your point, but I think that's for small business out of control, but I think workers have some say in sharing the company. I think it's the best way to run small. If you're bigger, I think shareholders can be fine as long. But that's the problem. Is that, how do you mandate that? How do you mandate that? How do you mandate, like, oh, you're big enough now, you have to have X amount of worker control? Like, I don't know, it seems weird. Because, again, the workers did not take any of the risk, and the workers do not serve any of the downsides. If that company goes bankrupt, guess who gets fucked over? Or guess who gets fucked over the hardest, specifically? I shouldn't say who doesn't get, because the workers do get fucked over, but who gets fucked over the hardest? I think this is just, again, another band-aid measure. When you're not countering the inherent problem. The inherent problem, which is not solvable, by the way, because band-aid measures are the only thing we have. The inherent problem is that people are not nice. That is the problem with all of this. All laws is mandated niceness to each other. That is all it is, okay? We have to mandate being nice to each other because people are not nice. That is all a law is. It is a mandated niceness. Yeah. Also, there's it's complicated because what decisions do workers get to make? How do we enforce that? How do we make sure companies don't find loopholes around that? Because there are some decisions that are fucking time sensitive. Yeah, they're very time sensitive decisions, right? You can't just fucking, you can't have you can't wait for the fucking company wide vote to come in. You got to make that call's coming in now. That client's coming in now, and they're not going to wait. You have to make that call sometimes. None of this would have to be. Yeah, with other regulations, I don't know, man. I think that I don't think it's inherently a bad idea, though. I don't think that what you're saying is inherently a terrible idea. It just feels, like everything is a little bit more complicated. Democracy is slow. That's why we hate it so much. That's why democracy sucks. It's also why democracy is great. Because generally speaking, the status quo is generally the best default because it's been working. Now, is it the best? No, but it's working. Keeps people alive. Does it keep people thriving? Maybe not, but it's the status quo. We're here because of the status quo. Change should be slow and incremental. should come in big bursts and spurts. Constant change is not a good thing for anybody. But that doesn't mean that no change is good, right? Everything is in the middle ground of things. That's the kind of thing that you learn as you get older and as you get smarter and wiser and not dumber. Is that everything in moderation, and people are not nice to each other. There's two things. Everything there's all it is unfortunate. It feels like everything just falls in the middle ground of things, and it sucks. And it sucks because it means that I can't go crazy no more. I can't go crazy no more, and that fucking sucks. I can't say some real crazy shit because unfortunately the answer is it lies somewhere in the middle. Man, I've got so much homework to do. I have to rewatch The Princess Bride. I have to read the Karl Marx book, which I've already read like part of, but I don't want to really read again because I think I remember Karl Marx being better than a lot of the other writers I wrote, but not by like much. He was still an obnoxiously illiterate piece of shit. Like all people who write philosophy are. Horribly obnoxious pieces of shit. Who cannot write. Sometimes I think that for a lot of philosophers, I think putting an actual stick in their ass would actually like do a lot for their mental. Like just to soften them up a little bit, just to humble them a little bit. Yes, I think that if Karl Marx would I think if philosophers got pegged, I think that they would be better at writing. I think that's a real take. I think that's a real as fuck take. The fuck did I join in? I'm just ranting because reading philosophy books suck. And I'm trying to find ways to help these philosophers write better. And I'm simply proposing alternatives. I'm proposing solutions. There's a problem in the market that philosophy is unreadable for normal people. Like myself. Or, as normal as I could possibly be. I think if everybody had to take a little, I think they would give a lot more. We're doing an hour of mandated level 11 practice, by the way. I think you should read the Spark Notes on philosophy books. Don't read them actually, because they're fucking annoying. Just read the Spark Notes. It's better. Touched implies there was somebody else doing the touching. The answer is no. If the question is, have I touched myself? The answer is also no. Because I don't have that kind of time, okay? Water costs money these days, okay? Water costs money these days, alright? No, I think that understanding philosophy is important. I think that people would be fucking more based if they knew about philosophy. Missing out? Maybe I am. But okay, I think that if people learned a little bit about philosophy, they would ultimately be a lot more based in the long run. Okay? It's why I think people who have philosophy degrees are you never really hear about their philosophy degrees. For most normal people that have a philosophy degree, because they're actually not like assholes that just kind of like fucking sit in their room and like, man in a cave, blah, 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 blah. It's not like that, bro. Most of these people are actually like pretty normal fuckers. They do that shit in private because again, they're normal. It's just that they have a little bit more understanding about right and wrong and understanding what that means and why it's important to understand right and wrong. If everybody had to read a little bit of philosophy, they'd all just be a little bit nicer to each other, I think. Same thing with, like, I think everybody should have to work a fast food job in their life. Or, like, a customer service job. A customer service first job where you're fucking sitting at the cash register for 6 hours in a row. serving motherfuckers. Hi, how can I help you? You should have to do that. You should have to do that. You should be forced to. Freaking private. I think that I don't care what you do in private. I think what you do or say in private is none of my concern. I think I care about only what you do in public. I only care about your public actions. Thog, you could be the freakiest fucking frog of all time. As long as you're not harming anybody, I don't care. W on exactly. You're not a freaky frog. You're entirely normal. Now, after Thoggin starts the official mandated, the official licensed Thoggin OnlyFans, you know, maybe that changes. But I don't think the official licensed trademark Thoggin OnlyFans is coming anytime soon. So I think we're gonna be okay. I think we're gonna be okay. The second the second plane hasn't hit the Twin Towers yet. We're okay. One of my directors made a fucking 9/11 joke yesterday, which I thought was crazy. Because it came from the person who I never expected to make a 9/11 joke in my fucking life. But he just busted out a 9/11 joke in the middle of a break, and I'm like, that's crazy. I like this guy. I suddenly fucked with him way more, because he's also the guy I talk about League of Legends with. He's my little League of Legends guy. He's like, oh, what's happening in League of Legends? That's he's my little guy. And then he busts out a random 9/11 joke. No, this guy is actually if you want to know who, like, if you think you're nonchalant, you're not, because this guy is actually the definition of nonchalant. It's crazy. No, I would never play League again. Why the fuck do you think I would invite that virus into my brain? No, I watch esports. What do you think I am, a fucking psycho? Oh my god. I have a fucking job. I have a job. I have responsibilities. I would never touch League of Legends. Not with a 10-foot pole. Ever. No, I would never touch. No, because there are extenuating circumstances that everybody should have to go through. 2 years community services after high school. Well, shit, brother. You gotta fucking... For some people, it just ain't that easy. Maybe for fucking stuck-up, fussy rich kids, maybe. Like yours truly. Maybe that would work out. I can imagine that. But then that would also be really fucked up and unfair for the stuffy, fucked up rich kids. Poor stuffy, fucked up rich kids, you know what I'm saying? But some people gotta be working like 2 jobs and going to college and fucking going home to take care of their fucking 9 kids. And somehow they still find time to, you know, become like the best Tetris player you've ever fucking seen. To provide jobs? Well, if it's fucking paid, I don't give a shit, brother. Mandated jobs? They'll just go into gangs. That is actually the most Republican thing I've ever heard you say. That's the most conservative thing I've ever heard Rosa say. They're gonna join gangs. That is crazy. that is bro is suddenly accepted into the goddamn, you know, he's invited to the cookout. Yeah, they'll all join gangs, and they'll all throw up gang signs, and they'll all hold the blickies, which are actually simply firearms. They're not called blickies. That's actually slang language. They're not real. They're called firearms, and they're very dangerous. And no youth should hold them. Man, Rises is just, man. Base conservative ally Roses is out here. Proudly holding the fucking flag. That aged well. It did. I feel like there were other questions that there was other shit I wanted to talk about. I think we should get the Gavin Newsom branded homeless the Gavin Newsom funded and approved homeless flamethrower. I think that's a great tweet. I should tweet. I love tweeting about Gavin Newsom. He's my favorite person to tweet about. I think that we should get the funded trademarked Gavin Newsom homeless flamethrower to get rid of all the homeless, because I know he's sick of them. I know he's sick of them. It's the only way. Governor Newsom, save us. I feel like I wanted to talk about something completely different that wasn't politics related, because I'm gonna talk about politics for like an hour. I gotta get my ass out of politics and philosophy. I'm actually going insane. I have to be normal. Does somebody have like a normal topic that I can talk about? Because it was literally like, it was politics, it was philosophy, then it was gooning. I guess gooning is better. I'd be happy to talk about it. Like gooning is I actually brought up gooning as a tactical way to get off of philosophy and politics. You think I'm stupid, but in reality, Sheepo3 is actually the smartest man you've ever met. I tactically, because I knew that my chat would always gravitate towards gooning. And I could escape the political rabbit hole by simply saying some freaky shit. Factors of the markup. Your chat are minors? I know. That's why it works. That's why it works. You kidding me? It's always been like a weird thing for me. It's like, yeah, I talk about that shit, but also my chat is filled with like minors, so it's like, am I weird? Am I fucking a freaky frog, dude? Who wants to fucking touch up on kids? Is that what I want? It's not, actually. I've always considered my chat to be like, I will have the discussions that I want to have, and I'm not going to think about like, I'm going to try to avoid placing that. I'm going to avoid trying to, I don't know what I'm trying to say here. I think there's an ethical way to talk about sex with minors. Never mind. You know what? Maybe you should just fucking throw me in jail as a fucking precaution at this point. Just take my ass out of the fucking ecosystem at this point. At this point, it's just better. It's just fucking safer. Golly, what the fuck am I saying, dude? Oh man, I bite the bullet so much. It's amazing that the bullet can still come out of the gun either way. Exactly. Me just fucking slobbering all over the bullet. I'm making passionate love to the goddamn bullet at this point. It's been a disaster, dude. No, but I think there's some like truth in what I'm saying. I think I am going to talk about what I want to talk about. And if that means that kids are listening, I think that, I don't think I taught. I think, because kids are going to figure out about sex one way or another, okay? It's going to happen, And at least I do about it in a way that's at least humorous and, safe for the most part. Guess who's out here advocating for safe sex and consent? So I'd rather do and if not, it's just memes, so. It's always been memes, which is, just natural to engage with. No, you don't. It's because I'm a horrible person. If there's one person that's going to destroy my career unintentionally, it's going to be Rose. My greatest op. Oh, do I make it? Fuck, dude. I haven't completed this level in so long. I just want to get a completion down, dude. Maybe I should turn on the frame perfect counter. as an advisor when you flee your dictatorship? Do you think I would have enough charisma to have a dictatorship, dude? Be so dead ass with me. I do not have enough popular appeal to have a dictatorship. You flee. I'd recruit you as an advisor when you flee your dictatorship. Your dictatorship. That implies that I am the one who is the dictator, yes? My dictatorship? Therefore, I would be the dictator. No, your country? So, okay, that's crazy. America is not becoming a dictatorship. Don't worry, we're okay. I think we'll be okay for the time being. Okay, don't worry. I think our country's a little bit stronger than that. I will say I'm not America's #1 glazer, but I'm certainly up there. I think we're a little bit. Look, as long as Trump doesn't have control of the Fed, then I don't care. All right. Because Trump can fucking posture all he wants about Jerome Powell and how much he fucking hates him or whatnot. But as long as Jerome Powell is still in power, then he has nothing. The moment that Jerome Powell gets removed directly by Donald Trump, then we can call it a dictatorship. Not complying with their order, but is he not technically complying with the order though? I don't know. This whole case seems super fucking weird to me. No, he's supposed to facilitate the transfer. No, that doesn't mean that can be interpreted in a very favorable way, right? He's supposed to facilitate the transfer. Yes. It is a case that never sat right with me. It feels like, I don't know. This feels like super fucking crazy. Because, like, either this guy is, like, an innocent guy who has never done anything wrong in his entire life and he's a sweet angel, or he's actually fucking Hitler himself, and I don't know what to believe. Because, like, whenever I read about this news story on my fucking news channel, it feels like this guy is just the sweetest little guy, man. He's just a regular guy. He's a regular dude that got yoinked off the street. And the Trump administration is saying he's part of a fucking terrorist group. And I'm like, okay. Like, that's a crazy thing to say. Is it a different thing? I thought that that's what we were talking about. I thought that was the main core case that was being violated. The main court order that's being violated. Oh, MJ, sorry. This is actually great. MJ's here, and it means I can switch topics off of this. We don't have to talk about politics anymore. Let's go! MJ, I've been reading The Goodnight Poon Poon. Mr. Poon Poon. I have been reading. Shit is gas. Shit's gas for real. It may be peak. I have to assume that this is like the author, like this is heavily inspired by the author's childhood, because I've never, like, it's been a very long time since I've read such an accurate depiction of being a child and being a kid of that age. It's such a difficult age to write for, because, like, you know, kids are so stupid and they believe such stupid shit and they do such stupid shit. How do you accurately get that, like, how do you actively convey that reasoning that the children has in their mind across to the reader? It is an accurate depiction. I don't know. It just feels so real. Like this is like, kids are so fucking dumb and they will do the dumbest shit for the dumbest reasons. And it feels so, like, real to me, because I believe dumb shit and I did dumb shit for dumb reasons when I was a kid. All right. And I had reasons, and they were stupid reasons, but they I don't know, they made sense to me. And also, the art is beautiful, by the way. I have to say, like, the art definitely is 100%, like, maybe the most beautiful art I've seen in, like, any manga so far. The art is gorgeous. And the way that he characterizes that little bird, the way he characterizes it is so, like, oh, it's so good, dude. Where he just, like, he makes this, like, this little cartoon drawing such a natural part of the world. It is a fucking gorgeous book. So honestly, it's cooking right now. No, not even close. Are you kidding me? These chapters are big. These are big chapters, and there's like 100. So I have to keep on going. But right now, I'm definitely enjoying myself. This is not exactly like a manga I can just read. I have to choose. I have to pick and choose when I read this thing. I can't just read it at any time, right? Because it is very like, I don't know. It's sad. It's kind of sad, dude. It makes me sad. It makes me a little bit fucking emotional, dude. That's all I want. The kid is so well characterized. I just want the best for him, man. I just want him to have everything, bro. I want him to get everything. And I know he's not. I know he's not. I know it's gonna suck. At the ending, I know it's gonna be... some shit is gonna happen. It's gonna fucking suck. And I don't want it to suck. But it's sucking right now. And I know it's gonna suck. And I know it's only gonna get worse. And that's the worst part. I want to tell him, no, I know it. I know you think it's bad right now, but it's gonna get so much worse. Oh, dude. And I'm so scared. And I don't want to keep reading because I know it's gonna fucking hurt, but I have to because I need to know what happens. Oh, dude. Oh. So I just have to like brace myself for the impending fucking sadness. And I just don't know what flavor of sadness it's gonna be. Be prepared. I'm trying, bro. What chapter are you on? I think I'm in like the 20s, like late 20s. We just did the 2-year time jump, and badminton. Badminton is the big thing. Right now we're at the beginning of badminton. He's doing badminton. Or I think he's going to do more. Maybe he'll do more badminton. Maybe he'll do less badminton. I don't know. Maybe badminton is just something that is happening. But they're currently badminton is happening. And also his girl is getting fucking... His girl done got took. And he's going through it right now. His girl done got took. And that shit is fucked up. Now, is he arguably a fucking... Is he a loser? Yeah, he's a loser. But he's a lovable loser. Alright? Poor kid. I don't blame her. I don't know. We'll see what happens. I know I like she crazy, but I don't know. We'll see what happens. I don't want to like. I don't want to know. I don't want to make guesses on where this is gonna go because I actually have no idea. So it could go anywhere. I don't know. We're gonna see what happens. I'm not going to talk about politics because your question is about politics and I'm not going to go. And we had a great conversation about this great fucking book that I'm reading. Everything goes wrong. Oh, I'm sure it does. I'm very... I keep holding out hope in my heart that something, like, it's going to be great. Literally the greatest form of happiness throughout this entire book has been Choco Pies. And that shit is fucked up, brother. That shit is mega fucked up. That this has been like when I read that I'm like, yes, we got to win today, boys. That is a big W in the W column. A whole lot of losses, but still, you know, at least we're in the game. Don't fucking tell me that, MJ. Don't tell me that. I don't want to hear it. Okay, I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it. Shut up, dude. It's going to be great at the end. It's going to be great and everybody's going to live happily ever after. I know it is. I know it's going to suck and there's going to be a whole lot of suffering, but everybody's going to live happily ever after. I know they are, except for the bad people. The bad people are going to die. And they're all going to die because they're bad and I hate them. But all the good people, they're going to fucking, I don't know, dance around in flowers and shit. It's going to be great. I'm so excited. Whose parents? Well, I mean, I know they're divorced. And also the dad isn't allowed in however many feet of the house. That was a fun chapter. That was a fun little way to characterize the idea of like, hey, my dad beat my fucking mom half to death. And now he's not allowed. Now he's not allowed within X amount of feet of the house. That's really it's a really interesting way of like describing that whole situation. I don't know what manga I'm gonna read after this. Right now, I'm kind of just in this. I'm in this mode, and I don't want to think about anything else. I'm just in this mode. No, I don't want any suggestions. Oh yeah, of course we've met. God has been there. God's been ever present. Don't tell me we actually get to meet God, like the actual person who's God. All right, God is everywhere. Tinkle tinkle hoy. Shout out to God, brother. Don't tell me anything else, MJ. Okay. Let's stop this conversation now, and then we'll pick it up once I've read more into the book. Okay, we'll talk about it once I've read more. No, I don't want suggestions right now. He becomes depressed and sad. Thanks, MJ. I appreciate that. What if I don't? What if I read it and I'm like just grinning ear to ear? I think that means that I just lack empathy at that point. There's actually the trigger to say that this guy's actually a sociopath. I think if all the people to like potentially be sociopath, I can't be one. There's just no way that I'm a sociopath. Of all the things that you think I am, there's just no way a sociopath. Who knows? Maybe that'll be the defense. Man, why can't I fucking beat this level for once in my miserable life, dude? Oh, dude, it was kind of fucked up. Okay, I'll tell you a story that I don't know. It's not really. I don't pet dogs. I don't. Whenever they come in studio, I'm not interested in petting them. I was tempted today. I don't know. I don't know why I don't. I don't know. I don't know. I'm not interested. But I had to get my bike repaired today, which fucking sucked, dude. Man, that shit costs so much money, dude. So I was biking home, and I check them. I look at my tire, and I'm like, oh, that's a big old scratch. And it's like one of those scratches where you can literally see like the fibers of the tire coming apart, and you can see the air tube getting distended because the tire is slowly breaking. You're like, oh shit, that is a safety hazard. That's a big problem. So I had to get my tire replaced, and it cost like 70 fucking bucks. And in the shop, they had a dog. It was just wandering around. And I'm like, damn, this, like, I remember, like, this dog looked at me, he saw me, and he just walked right up to me. He just sat down and looked at me, just waiting. And I'm like, that is a customer service trained dog. This dog has been trained to go right up to fucking random strangers and expect love. And I gave him nothing. I didn't give him anything. I don't know why I didn't. I could have just bent down, I could have patted him a little bit. I don't know. I just didn't do it. I did not pet the dog. I don't know. I don't know why I don't do it. Maybe it's just because it's a hassle. Maybe because I don't want to inconvenience the dog. Oh, can I pet your dog? No, I'm sorry. I don't want to inconvenience it. I don't know, dude. I just don't pet the dog. I feel like so it started off, I think it started at work as like a very like it started as a very like it started as a very like it all started when I was a child though. It started as a very utilitarian thing where I'm like, okay, when they bring dogs into the studio, I can pet them and I can say, oh, you're very cute. But not only would I get in the way of everybody else doing that in the studio, also I would get in the way of the person who's actually trying to do the segment, and then I would also get them in and out of the studio slower. When my ultimate goal with any dog is to get in and out of the studio as fast as possible, because dogs do not do good generally on fucking news segments where generally they need to shut the fuck up when they're not supposed to talk. Dogs are not very good at shutting the fuck up when they're not supposed to talk, generally. Now, most of the dogs we've had are great. But there are some dogs who do not know how to, and so I'm incentivized to get the dog in and out as fast as possible. Get it out. It's very stressful. And I don't know, that has just become like the mentality that I have, because I see so many dogs every week, dude. I see dogs so many, I just don't do it. I just don't do it. I'm not going to pet the dog. I could have pet the dog. I just stood there like a fucking, I don't know, pretending to be nonchalant. I was doing my nonchalant individual cosplay. waiting for the guy to fucking put my new goddamn tire on the bike because I couldn't do it myself. You're nonchalant. You're just a loser. Am I a loser? I am a loser, I think. I think that's undeniable, but I don't think I'm a loser because I don't pet dogs. I was like, loser shit you can do. I'm not like not petting dogs so like I hate them or something. I have no ill feelings toward dogs. I think they're very cute. I have no I'm like I think that you're misconstruing this as like this is actually like Sheepo 3's secret hatred of dogs getting revealed. It's not like that, dude. I need to I feel like I'm getting it so much and I'm never getting the second jump for whatever reason. I cannot get the second jump. There's something fundamentally wrong. I think I'm going early. I can't tell. Hold on, I'm gonna pull up the spreadsheet. I need to just figure this out because I just exited it out of the game. My bad. Sorry. Let me reload it. My subconscious brain exited out because I was so sick of practicing level 11. My brain was actually it was like an emergency fear response. My mind was trying to protect me. No more level 11. It's like a trauma response. Hold on, let me pull up the goddamn lace spreadsheet. No, my music. Not that the music has really contributed to anything meaningful to the stream, but you know, still, it's the idea of the thing. Yo, Sheep. X Steel, you got something for me? What do you got for me? Right now, I've been accused of being an awful individual this stream. It's been bad for me. Okay. We've been on the whole Sheepo 3 is a sexist, Sheepo 3 is a psychopath, Sheepo 3 is evil. You got something for me that where I'm not the bad guy? You got something for me? I've really been a real horrible individual. I was into sexist shit, so that, you know. Oh yeah, I like sexist things. That's not good. I don't like that. I don't want to like sexist things. The fact that I'm unable to see something that is sexist is a failure. It means that there's some kind of failure that I've discovered in my process. I don't like that. You like sexist things. Apparently the Princess Bride is sexist. This is a new revelation that we've discovered today. So I'm early, I think. I'm like super duper early, actually. How's that? Am I late? Oh, okay. I'm actually super late. I'm super duper late. Says, you know, the arbiter of all good things in this world. That's late? The one... See, that's what I was thinking. Like, that's what it reads as. But also, I don't know. I haven't watched the film in a while. This does feel like that one friend that's too woke moment. But again, I think that it's not like... I think the claim has some amount of merit to it. Alright? I think with any traditional princess traditional prince/princess story, I think you have to kind of, I think that's a necessary lens to view it through, you know? I don't know. I don't think just because it was made in like the 80s doesn't mean like we're allowed to just like give it a fucking hall pass. That's like giving your old grandpa that still, you know, thinks, you know, fucking Hitler did nothing wrong. You're like, oh, he's old. He doesn't matter. Right? No, you don't get a hall pass for that shit. I don't know. Crazy Uncle Steve, you know him. Yeah, I'm not like I said, I don't like that reasoning of like, oh, well, it was in the 80s, so it's like can't be like, I don't know. I don't like that that feels wrong to me. It feels like we have bad reasoning here. I feel like we can be bigger brand than this. Is it literally just there? Oh my. Have I seen the fucking sauce? How am I so consistently like one frame off? Yeah, but I don't know. I think the problem for me is that if the Princess Bride becomes sexist, or is sexist, then it just feels like, I don't know. It feels like we've lost something, you know? I don't know what I'm trying to, why I'm so protective of this film. Like, certainly nostalgia plays a part in it. But I think there's a reason why I don't want this film to be sexist, or I don't want that analysis to be objectively correct. I think there's a reason behind that. So, again, this is something that I must dissect by watching the movie again. Wahoo! Sheeple 3 has found the ultimate solution. Sheeple 3 gets an excuse to watch The Princess Bride again, a movie that I already very much enjoy. What a great excuse. Oh, come on. Let me reset, bro. But I also think that, you know, there's a level of like, I don't want one of my favorite movies of all time to actually be Ooga Booga sexist, because that would suck. That would stink. Now I have to live with the realities that, like, oh, I really like this movie, but also it's kind of like a fucking horribly sexist piece of shit movie. Don't worry about that part, though. It's great. What a crazy, you know, add-on you have to put at the end of your fucking sentence. Interesting. So you do have to wait a little bit. No, I think that my enjoyment should be predicated on my understandings of the movie. I think that's important. I think just because Roses is based doesn't mean that he should be banned. If Roses ends up being based, I don't think he should be banned because he fucking ruined a good thing. I think that's just proof that the thing that I thought was good wasn't actually that good in the first place. I did say he. I'm a horrible person, actually. Somebody fucking put a steak in my goddamn gullet. I'm sorry. I've actually been like ping-ponging between he and she this entire stream with Roses. It's actually because I'm a horrible transphobe, but it's such a good and funny movie. But I don't want it to be sexist. I think it destroys my enjoyment of the film at least a little bit. It is a good movie. It is funny. And Diego Montoya did, and my name is also Diego Montoya, and you did kill my father, and you will die, and that all of that can be true. Fucking racist. It's actually, yeah, it's because it was because of his skin color that I hated that. It's because of his culture. No, believe it or not, I don't think racism was the one thing I took away from The Princess Bride as a kid. It wasn't, man. That's crazy. I'm sorry. Shout out to Andre the Giant for being fucking big. Actually, a pretty good actor, all things considered. Can't hate him. It's interesting because the problem with professional wrestlers is that they are all miserable assholes. And I think that Andre the Giant might be included, but I don't know. It's very hard to find a fucking pro wrestler that isn't a miserable asshole. There's like one, and his name is John Cena. And now he's a bad guy. The fucking nicest guy that you've ever met in the world is also the bad guy now, which is just, you know. Just because you're autistic doesn't mean that you're not allowed to. I think there's plenty of autistic assholes in the world. I think just because you're autistic doesn't mean that you can't be allowed to be an asshole. I think you can be a perfectly good asshole and be autistic. Don't hold yourself back. Be whatever you want to be. Yeah, you. Shut up. I'm not an asshole. Nuh-uh, nuh-uh, nuh-uh. I say to myself in bed. No. Wait, hold on. I can't I deny both things? I don't think I'm autistic, and I don't think I'm an asshole. I don't think I'm either or. You don't deny the asshole part? Look, I feel like every time somebody calls me autistic, I think that the autistic community cries a little bit. I have not suffered enough to be autistic. And I genuinely think this. I have not suffered enough to be autistic. Okay? I feel too good about my life to be to feel like I am like autistic, right? Because I don't want to be the guy that like simps for like autism, like, oh, autism is it's your superpower. No, the fuck, it's not. I think that any autistic person heard some white lady in a goddamn pencil neck dress tell them that autism is their superpower, they would desire to fucking beat the shit out of her. Yeah. I don't like that shit. I don't want that. Yeah, people just have stupid ideas about what being autistic actually is. Like, yeah, there is like some marginal utility that comes from it. There's also a whole lot of fucking baggage that comes with it too, man. It's not all fucking sunflowers and fucking daisies over in the autism camp, bro. They're not all having a good time all the time. Okay? I've heard multiple times from like multiple autistic people that they would rather somebody just call them the R word than having to hear somebody tell them that autism is their superpower. And I'd fucking believe it. Because if I was autistic, I'd be the exact same way, bro. Just call me the R word at that point. It's just so much better. At least I know where you stand on this shit. It's so much easier. Okay? It's so demeaning. The fucking autism is, it feels so demeaning, dude. That shit, oh my god. I think there's one thing that I hate more than anything, it's being babied. I'm not a fucking baby. Don't treat me like a baby. And I think that's kind of the experience I draw on. Because the one thing I hated when I was a kid, the one thing I fucking hated when I was a kid is when people didn't treat me like I was a fucking person. They didn't treat me like I was an adult. That's all I wanted. All I wanted. Just treat me like an adult. Yeah, I'm gonna be stupid. I'm gonna make a fucking stupid mistake. I don't care. Let me make a mistake. Let me be stupid. Treat me like a fucking person. They never did. And that shit always fucking made me... That shit pissed me off. I think that's kind of what I draw on when I think about this shit. Where it's like... It feels like people treat these fucking autistic people like they're, you know... They're like these second-class citizens. They don't know what they're doing. Oh, we need to protect them. Our beautiful autistic people. What would we do without them? Goddamn America's strongest soldiers. Right? It's like, no. Like, yeah, they go through some shit, but guess what? Individual. I will preach this. You have some individual agency, okay? You have agency. Use your agency. You have agency. How people treat disabled people? I generally, the best way that I've found to treat, like, all people is just, like, people. Even, like, kids, autistic people, it doesn't matter. I've interacted with all of them. Generally, the best way is just to treat them like a fucking normal person, dude. Normally, that is, like, the best way to do it. I've gotten the best results working with kids when I just treated them like an adult. And it works so well. It goes so well because, like, I'm, like, you know, yeah, I'm just, I don't know. Like, it doesn't mean, like, they're going to learn. Exactly. I'm not going to baby you. And I don't think people want to be babied. I certainly didn't. I think that's kind of why I am the way I am today. Because I feel like sometimes I was so babied and I felt mad about it. So now I'm so fiercely independent. I am not your baby. I will not be your baby. Dude, I'm always the big spoon. Nepo baby moments. It is a Nepo baby moment, dude. I got everything handed to me on a golden platter. God forbid I want something that is mine, that you guys can't fucking take away from me. But it will always exist. The way to take it away from me. You will always have that victory, and I could never win that battle. Not that it's like a horrible battle to lose or anything. When I get this new job, I'm gonna present it on stream. Look at my new job that I got. I did it all by myself. I did it. I got this job. This great job that I have, I earned it. I earned it. Not anybody else. I earned it. You are an artist? I'm not a good artist. What, you think I've made fucking beautiful works of art? Fucking Picasso? No, I'm not. I don't know. I'm not an amazing photographer. I'm okay. I haven't done anything that I'm happy with. Especially when I read my writing back. Picasso sucked ass. Picasso meant a whole lot more than fucking Cress Humming. That is a goated. Okay, to be fair, that was kind of sick. Well, Picasso wasn't Picasso just like a massive hater of everything? Wasn't he just like an asshole? Was he autistic as well? Who knows? I don't know. I always got the impression that Picasso was a fucking massive dickwad. Poor Picasso. Bro's just too based. There's so many people. No, I think that was Van Gogh that died before people called him super based. That was certainly Van Gogh. Hating on your art. I'm gonna hate on it until I make something that I feel like is good, and then I'm gonna look at it 2 years later. I'm gonna damn, that sucks. I'm gonna make something better. That's how I get better. That is how I improve. That's how I improve, by fucking constantly hating all the shit that I've done, and constantly being motivated to make better shit. So then this time it won't be bad. It's not a good mentality to have. I don't think it's a positive mentality. But it means I'm very good at who am I I'm comparing myself to the best. That's who I'm comparing myself to. You want to know who I'm comparing myself to? The fucking best. The best who've ever done it. That's who I compare myself to. That's who I want to be. And I know I'm never going to get there. And all I will be is, you know, above average at most. At most things I do, because that's all I've ever been. And that's okay. But I'm going to keep fighting to be the fucking best, because why the fuck would I not? Why would I not want to be the best? Why would I not want to be the best? Why would I not want to be the best or make the coolest shit? I want to make the coolest video. I want to make the coolest TikTok edit. I want to make the coolest COD montage. I want to make the coolest YouTube. I want to make it. I want to be that guy. I want somebody to go up to me and say, "Damn, Sheep, you know, that video that you made, that was sick." That has happened maybe 3 times in my entire life where somebody genuinely came up to me. That has happened, like, there was one time actually that I super remember that happening, where I actually felt like I did something. And it was actually during photography. It was during my last project. I think I told this story on stream. It was my last project. There was the one video of the waterfall of light. It was the one photo of the waterfall of light. The photo that I always show you guys. Every time I say, "Oh, I'm good at photography," and I show you that photo. That photo, that means so much to me. It's the most meaningful photo I've ever made, because I remember people in my class coming up to me and asking, "Hey, can I have the print for that photo? Can I have the print? Can I have it?" They wanted my printed version of the photo. They wanted it. I had multiple people come up to this, and I'm like, holy shit. That meant something to me, dude. Time that I felt like I made something that was better, that was good, that was great. I did feel like something when I made Welcome to Burn, because everybody ripped the hell out of it, ripped the shit out of it during critique, as they rightfully should have. It was not that great. But I remember in one scene when I animated the moon, one guy in my class who was sitting behind me went, "Holy shit," while he was watching. And I remember hearing him. And I remember the entire critique meant nothing to me after that, because I got that. It was just this one little bit of like, it was this genuineness. That's what matters to me. It's like this genuine idea that I fucking did something cool. It wasn't like, oh, give a positivity sandwich. That's why I hate the forced positivity in critique. I don't like forced positivity on any of that, because it's not real, dude. It's not real. I want it. When somebody says this is good, somebody says this is great, I don't want it to be because they feel obligated to make me feel confident in myself. I want it to be real. And if it's dog shit, then fucking say it, dude. I get so frustrated. Don't baby me. This is another version of don't baby me. I don't want to feel... I want real, genuine... Hates himself too much to accept it. Maybe it's that. I don't know. But I look at my viewer count, I got 10, which is actually pretty good. Never mind. I was about to roast myself, but actually I can't do it because 10 viewers is actually not bad at all. Do you have a journal? I don't have a journal. I have my notebook where I write my little stories. I was thinking about a couple of times just starting like a video journal where I just talk about shit, but I think this stream is kind of acting as the video journal, and because I have my VOD saved on YouTube, it's a very nonsensical, hard to follow video journal, but this stream is my video journal. I am very, very vulnerable and open on this stream about a lot of my shit. What you are getting is a pretty authentic version of what Sheep is, of the person behind the mask. Process them. L, nerd. Somebody push him over into a puddle and call him names. Oh, you keep your dream journal? Just use the notes app, real shit. That's real shit. Just use the notes app, bro. No, this stream just serves as like my nice little like emotional, where I can espouse my emotions. in a way that is not harmful, or and I get feedback on them, which I think is nice. I think it's nice to have feedback on my emotions. That's nice. It's an interesting experience, but I think it's something that's more valuable than not. My hair is super long right now, okay? It's gonna look like shit for a little bit. Your emotions don't matter. That's false. They tragically do. Like, alternative woman cut your hair. I think Roses needs me to date like a fucking... I wouldn't be able to handle it. Needs layers? I don't think it does. I know the exact kind of woman that Roses wants me to date, and it's not. I am not built for it. I don't think. I am not built for it, dude. I'm such a I'm just not ready for that. Yeah, it's Roses wants me to date somebody that has she they in their fucking Discord bio. Can I touch you? Potentially. Respect your boundaries. I am very open boundaries, okay? I have very open boundaries, okay? That's one thing about me. If this stream hasn't taught you anything about me, is that I am fucking... My boundaries extend way further than most people's do. Alright? I talk about some pretty real shit about myself. And I'm like, oh yeah, it's all good. I am super chill with most things. As long as it's funny. I always said that during improv comedy, whenever we did our little, like, whenever we would play a game where we had to, like, touchy-feel each other a little bit more in improv comedy, and we'd all do, like, what are our boundaries, which is always a good thing to do. And every time I'd say, I do not care what you do for me as long as, I don't care what you do to me as long as it's funny. I would always say that. And you know what? Some people, they took that, and you know what? I was never uncomfortable, because guess what? It was funny most of the time. So I was never concerned. Pegging only comes after marriage? Is that like a... Where was that in the Bible? They probably didn't have like silicone back in, back during the Salem witch trials. So I guess it was different back then. That's a Buddhist tradition. Getting fucking pegging after. Are you being dead? Are you? See now I think you're lying to me. See, I was lying to you earlier on stream. Now I can't tell if you're being dead ass or not. Because if I look this up, what a stupid idiot I would look if I looked up Buddhist pegging. That's what a dumbass I would be if I looked that up, because it sounds so ridiculous. It can't be real. And the thing is, like, you win if I stop playing. You've won, and that's the worst part about it. So I have to keep playing. How do you do this to me, dude? It's true. Yeah, okay. I know MJ will say anything to get Sheeple3 to lose. Bro, no way I just hit that. Like, after all that practice, I just hit it off rip. That's stupid. I hate how practice actually works. Fine, I'll Google it. There. I'm looking it up. Yep. It is. Oh boy. That is not safe for work. Oh boy. Oh boy. No, it was just Pornhub, dude. I looked up pegging after marriage. So yeah, I didn't think so. Buddhist marriage is not like a thing that I remember being taught about in Buddhism. In Buddhism school, the school that I went to. Buddhist pegging tradition. I've already done it. You would think it would have come up already. If it existed, you would think it would have come up already. If you're wondering, I did not click on any of the porn links. No, you're... How long can you keep this charade going? Charade. I gotta look... Dude, I gotta ask... I'll look up chat. Okay, chat. Because everybody knows ChatGPT is the arbiter of truth. ChatGPT is the arbiter of truth in America. Let's... Hey. Can you tell me about the... Can you tell me about the religious tradition of pegging in Buddhism? It's saying there's no, Really? Oh. Can you make up a Buddhist? Can you make up a... Can you make up a Buddhist tradition that revolves around pegging? No! Why? Fuck you, ChatGPT. You won't let me have any fun. Fine. Okay. I can't even get it to lie effectively. Damn it. What a tragedy. Now they're flying out the ChatGPT agents to my house right now. All I wanted was to learn about religion, guys. Gosh. Guy, you wanted it. No, I actually wanted, like, when I looked it up on ChatGPT, that's when I knew the bit was like, that's when I was just trying to extend the bit. I was just hoping that I could get a really funny line out of, like, some generative AI. That's all I was really hoping for. I probably should have asked Grok. Grok would have fucking done that shit in a heartbeat, bro. Has Elon actually done a good thing finally? Grok was done some racist shit. Yeah, something. Donald Trump is an American hero. All right, let's actually do some full runs because I've just spent an hour playing level 11 and I want to die. I don't think I'm gonna be breaking any records today in terms of my speedrunning, in my actual speedrunning attempts. But hey. You know, the world is a... Oh, my life split. That's not the right thing. The world is a complicated place, guys. Get some water. It's ice cream day tomorrow, guys. I love ice cream day. It's my favorite day. That's why Friday is one of my favorite days, because it's my only day that I get to eat something sweet and not feel like a total piece of shit when I do it. I like my sweet things. Okay, fatty. Am I a fatty? I need to turn on my volume. I am so good at regulating myself around sweets for the most part. If there's one thing that I am actually terrible about, it is regulating myself around food. I am a fucking slovenly fucker, dude. No, dude. Oh my god, I got such a great deal. It was $3.99 per quart at fucking, dude, at the fucking Safeway, dude. $3.99 a quart of good ice cream, not like the shitty cheap stuff, but like the actual good stuff. I'm like, golly, brother. I saw that deal. I'm like, what the fuck? Why did I do that? I'm tripping today. Yeah, I love, look, like I said, ice cream is my favorite thing in the whole wide world. I love it. I love cream time. My favorite holiday. I love cream time. And we keep it moving. I think we moved past YTPs too early. I don't know about that. I think YTPs still have value in today's economy. I don't think YTPs are as washed as you're making them out to seem. Your YTP? Oh. I see. I think we didn't move past it fast enough, actually. The fact that I even reminisce on it today is a fucking tragedy. The fact that I even know about it is the worst thing that's ever happened to me. To be fair, that's the reason why the reason why I am suffering like I am today is because that YTP exists. But it was an awful viewing experience for me. I'm sure it was hilarious for you guys. You guys are just, you know, having the grand old time. For me, it was the worst day of my life. For you, it was just a Tuesday. Sorry, the volume was very loud in my headphones and I wanted to turn it down. I'm bored. Oh, I'm sorry. Something Donald Trump, something I don't know, tariffs, something sheep is sexist, something oh, because you're a professional model, I'm supposed to entertain you. Entertain me. Oh my god. Sorry, you want me to peel your grapes too? Your fucking keto-friendly grapes? Your fucking gluten-free, keto-friendly, great macro grapes? Low-calorie grapes, huh? I'm saying the fact that gluten-free grapes exists is the reason why we needed to elect Donald Trump in the first place. That's all I'm saying. I want big seeds in my grapes. I want big fucking seeds. Alright? Because that's how I know it's a real grape. That's how I know it's a real American grape. When there are big old seeds that you gotta like eat around, it's like really weird and gross, and it makes the entire experience of eating a grape super unenjoyable and annoying to do. That's how I know those are real fucking grapes. Alright? I'm tired of these pussy grapes without no seeds in them. They're taking the seeds out the grapes. Just like they're taking the seeds out of young men and boys. They're just boys trying to be boys. They're taking the seeds out of them. They're taking the seeds out of them. Have you seen what they're doing? That's what the vaccines were for. Less seed. Good luck, Goat. I feel like Goat is a strong word, but I appreciate the message. Look, it went really well last stream, and with our actual runs, it went really well. We had our best run ever. We were 1 second ahead going into level 9, which is a level that I think I should be able to beat pretty consistently. Level 9 is not a level that I'm like sitting here, you know, shivering my boots thinking about, okay? I don't like being confronted with the sins of my past. Can you not do that, please? Oh. My Twitter is actually like a fucking... My Twitter is actually just like a fucking... a containment chamber. I feel like whenever I'm tweeting, I feel like I'm an SCP in a fucking... in a goddamn tube watching the outside world. They need to contain me so they can study me. So I don't destroy the world. I feel like a fucking world-ending year X. That's why I'm gonna stop doing like the opinion tweets, I think, because sometimes I just do the opinion tweets like, wow guys, don't you think that X is kind of weird? I want to stop doing those because I feel like that's my Twitter at its weakest. Wow guys, the oil's hot. It's like, that's not, nobody wants to read that shit. Right? I need to be more unhinged on my Twitter. I need to be more fucking psychotic. I need to see more random shit. I need the tweets to have no logical basis in reality. That's a base tweet, by the way. That was peak sheep Twitter. When I tweeted that, I felt like I had solved world hunger. Also, I'm trying to do less politically... I think some politically motivated tweets are cool, but I think if it's all ooga booga politics, I think that kind of, like, dilutes the message, you know? If it's all ooga booga politics. There needs to be variety. I think ooga booga politics is cool sometimes to make, like, political jokes, and I like political jokes. But there needs to be balance. I need to find balance in this world. So I'm... Oh, dude, I could make a... Man, sorry, I was just thinking about a joke I can make, but I think that has a tendency to end up being very sexist if I do it wrong. I think, unfortunately, I'm just towing the line a little bit too much. I think that could be funny, but I'm not the person to tell the joke. Damn, I hate when that happens. I'm not the best person to tell the joke. I wanted to make fun of the way that some writers describe women, because I think it is funny, really funny sometimes. And I wanted to make a tweet like that, but I think, you know, coming from, you know, yours truly, I just don't think the joke hits. You know. Say here, I don't know, it wasn't like I don't have the initial tweet. I was thinking like some like find like the most like obnoxious way you could ever describe somebody's like breasts jiggling, something like that, and like just say it's so fucking obnoxious, like just saying them, like saying that just as obnoxiously as fucking possible. I think that could be funny if I find the right way to word it. I just think that it, like the margin for error is too thin here. The margin for error is too thin, because if it's not funny, then people might take it seriously, and then I am a fucking sexist, because jokes are only as sexist as they are funny. No, but because like it can't just be that, right? There needs to be some irony baked into it. Like, there needs to be something that is so, like, over-the-top stupid that it's, like, it's very clearly irony, right? Like I can't just describe a fucking pair of knockers and, like, get away with it, all right? Because then that just comes off as, like, all right, okay, Shibo3, we get it. You're trying to become a writer, dude. and then you actually think I am sick, right? There needs to be some like, something over the top, and I don't know what element to add. Like, because I think that's what all good Twitter humor takes. Okay, you need to have there needs to be layers of sarcasm within the sarcasm, right? It can't just be one thing. There needs to be something else within there to be fucking crazy. I think that's what I thought when I was writing my tweet about Elon Musk getting fucked by a frat boy. I think that was the kind of concept that is like, Elon Musk getting fucked is really funny, but then creating a story about how he has become this kind of evil maniacal machine because he just wants to get railed, and then creating this entire story, the entire narrative behind it, I think that is what makes that tweet so good in my eyes, right? Because there's layers to it. I watched Carl Jobst's video about Elon Musk being a gamer. Apparently, Carl Jobst was like, hey, Elon Musk probably wasn't lying about playing Quake back in the day. Playing, like, competitive Quake. Now, there was a huge caveat. Not a lot of them, I don't think. Maybe back in the day when I was less funny, but I think a lot of my tweets aren't actually, like, that super, like... Right? Like I said, right now, I'm trying to make sure my tweets are as unhinged as possible. I think that's when I am at my best. When I am fucking talking about some bullshit. Or making some kind of comic observation. I think another tweet that I remember hitting really good was the playground tweet. When I think I don't remember the exact wording, but when I talked about playgrounds being little coliseums for our children to grow strong in, I think that was a pretty base tweet. And it's making like little stuff like that. I think that is where we can kind of... Sometimes I feel bad for Elon, and then I remember Elon, and then I don't feel bad anymore. Because he really did bring this on himself. He had the entire world in his hands. He had the whole world in his hands. Everybody loved that guy. And he fucked it all up. He did it himself. He did it to himself, dude. I just remember that he dug his own grave. And now he can fucking lay in it. No, I don't get DM notifications on stream because I'm in streamer mode. Thank God. What a horrific streaming experience this would be if I had to fucking go through your goddamn... Hey, I might actually get past level 3. That's true. That's the real shit you've ever said. I do hate my viewers. Well, Mirrors DMs me a lot of stuff. Oh, this? Yeah, no, this was stupid. This was like the stupidest shit. Why would anybody cut their pizza like that? This guy is actually like out of his goddamn mind. That guy's just a living fucking crustacean. Yeah, it's because it's just like, what are you gonna do with the crust slices? Cut it all off? I don't think crust, like, I think that growing up is realizing that the crust is not the best part of the pizza, but also being able to understand the crust is not awful. Because like you'll get both sides of the coin when you're a kid. People are like who will literally throw out the crust of their pizza, and then people who will say crust is the best part of the pizza. You'll get both flavors, and they're both wrong. Realizing is that crust is actually just an essential part of the pizza experience. It is the balance. It is the balance of pizza. It is that you cannot have like all this like richness and greatness. There needs to be balance, and that is the crust. The crust is the balance of the whole thing. Right? And I think that eating it like that is just stupid because you're ruining like the natural balance of things. You're ruining the natural balance of things. You eat some pizza and then you eat the crust. And then you eat some more pizza and then you eat some more crust. That's how you eat a pizza. One slice after another. That is how pizza should be eaten. And he is destroying the natural order of pizza with his gigantic ass slices. Also, it's terrible for sharing. What happened if you wanted to share your pizza with your good friend, like I've done many times? Sometimes you want to share pizza with the boys. How can a man share pizza with the boys with giant fucking slices? You have a sissy name, boy. Who are you talking to? Are you talking to me? I have a sissy name? Are you talking about Cress or Sheep? Cress? What's wrong with Cress? I have heard nothing but praise from a name, by the way. I've gotten very few negative reactions, if any at all, to my name. Okay? People have always enjoyed my name. It's always been like a point of like, oh, that's cool. People like look at me like a little bit more like, oh, this guy's pretty interesting. He's got an interesting name. That's always what it's been like. It has never been a problem. My name has never been a problem. Why is it a sissy name? Name me Blaze? That would be cringe. Blaze? That would be cringe. That would be like naming your sword Demon Slayer. Alright. Porn star name? Actually? Fucking Blaze Williams. Fucking oh my god, that's actually so real, dude. If I look up Blaze porn, there's gotta be one, bro. That's hilarious. No. They'd be cringe. It would be cringe if you had Blaze as a name. It would be cringe. I think you'd have too much PTSD from being bullied all your life for having a cringe name, yeah. I think you would be thinking very differently about your name if you had to go through the PSD of being bullied for having a cringe name. Could be worse. Could be better, though. No. I can understand the argument for Sheep being a sissy name. I feel like I can understand the argument for it being a sissy username, but I will say there aren't that many people that use Sheep as a username. I think I'm gonna the people who use who are the Sheeps are a limited class. I think that's great. I like Sheep. I like being Sheep. I think I've kind of established enough of a brand around Sheep that I don't want to like change my name anytime soon. I think I'm very happy with my name. Of course there are more famous Sheeps than I. But I think in my circle, I'm pretty, you know. Head sunglasses? No. I think the only thing I can imagine changing is switching off from like the Minecraft sheep as my logo. I don't know what I would switch off. I don't know what I would switch off to though. I would imagine switching off to my face maybe. I don't want to. What I don't want to switch off, like my little logo thing. I don't know. I don't want to switch off to some art. I don't want to switch off to art. That's what I don't want. I don't want somebody to make some art for me and then I fucking make it my logo. I think that I don't know. That does not roll for me. I could imagine myself changing my branding in the future, but not my name. I will always be Sheep. Maybe I'll drop the 003. Maybe I'll add something else to it, but I will always be Sheep. Miserable Twitter artist. Oh, I hate him. Ooh, I hate him. If there's one person that hates... No, I'm not. Being a femboy is so much fucking work, dude. That shit's like a full-time art project, dude. To be feminine. The thing that is stopping me, the real thing that is stopping me from trying to give the femboy look a try is my fucking hairy ass arms and my hairy ass legs. Okay, that is what's preventing me. Because if I'm gonna be a femboy, I'm not gonna be no pussy ass femboy, bro. We're not. I am not gonna stop eating for a month to become the fucking stick figure. I'm gonna lock the fuck in, my brother. Like I said, this shit is all hard work, bro. I'm okay. I'm okay, my guy. I need to go to the Goodwill to get furniture. That's the most effort I want to put in. I hate shopping. I hate it. No, because I want to be a bad bitch, ladies and gentlemen. That's what I want to be. It's not that I just want to be a femboy. It's that I want to be a bad bitch. Alright? I look up to the GOAT. Milky Warm. I look up to the GOAT and I say, one day I can be like him. One day I can be like him. But I know I'll never be him. But I think that if you're not trying, like I said, if you're not comparing yourself to the best, then what the fuck are you doing? If you're not comparing yourself to the fucking best, then what the fuck are you doing, dude? You look up to the GOATs and you say, I'm gonna be like them someday. You look up to the rafters. And that's who you aspire to be like. Oh, did Milky Worm come out as trans? Sorry. Femboys were always a fucking him for me. Whenever it was a femboy, it was always a him. I thought that was an essential, a part of the allure, right? There was always a him in there. Behind all that makeup and behind all that makeup and all that cosplay, there was always a him. I think it would be pretty sick if I owned some makeup. Cause, dude, oh my god, makeup is actually so fucking overpowered. Oh my god, legitimately, makeup is super duper broken. And I think that there is like a lack of like. We need more guys using makeup because it is actually like. No, I actually learned this from my goddamn news anchor. my male news anchor. So this guy, he's great. I love him to death. He's actually just a great guy. And I know he wears makeup because he was just talking about it. Like, yeah, he just wears like 2 layers of foundation and he looks fucking amazing. And I'm like, damn, bro, that's all, like, just a little bit of foundation, and bro looks like $1 million. I'm like, It's really that easy, dude. Now, I will say, I do have another news anchor, by the way. I do have another news anchor. And I'm going to tell you right now. I think she goes a little bit down into, like, the conservative route of, like, makeup, bro. I think she goes way too deep in the sauce with her makeup. And I can tell because I can tell she's wearing blush. It's very obvious she's wearing blush, and she wears a lot of blush. I think, honestly, if she just, like, ditched half the blush, or if she just ditched the blush altogether, I think I'd like her makeup so much more. But she wears, oh my god, sometimes it just makes her look like a fucking Teletubby, dude. And I'm like, oof. It gives super, like, conservative makeup vibes to me, you know? You know, like, the trend of, like, making fun of conservatives for being shitty at wearing makeup? On, like, TikTok? That's what it's giving sometimes, and I'm like, ugh. But I can't tell her that. I'm not allowed to make that analysis. Because I am a man. And also it's weird. But, you know, even if I was, you know, even if I was a girly pop, I would not even make that assumption. Because again, you know, it's just, I don't like it, man. I don't like her makeup. I think our other news anchor, I think her makeup is much more, like, laid back. She's just vibes with it. And I think, like, you're a news anchor. Like, you're inherently, like, fucking prettier than most people. You're already pretty. I don't know why you need to have all this makeup on. I think that if you just, like, have a little bit of foundation, a little bit of lipstick, like, it's so easy. And I think you are doing way too much right now. I think, like, just rely a little bit more on the natural beauty and then just, like, keep it vibing, bro. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm thinking. You just gotta push that shit a little bit. Because again, you're already, like, naturally fucking gorgeous, bro. You come to work wearing, like, beautiful dresses every day. Like, that's your default work attire. If I come to work wearing makeup, they're gonna I don't think this is what you're looking for. This is not. I don't know. It has to be subtle. It has to be. I don't know if I can make it subtle enough to work. Because some of this is way too fucking strong, and it feels like I'm getting attacked by guyliner. They will actually, like, I will never live it down. Yeah, see? Like, when I look at it subtly, it just looks so much better. Just like a little bit of subtleness. I can totally see it. A little bit of eyeliner, a little bit of foundation. I think I can make a lot of makeup work for me. It just takes practice, and it takes a little bit of money. And I don't have the time or the patience right now. You could be so hot if you became a little bit feminine. I think this is a journey that we take. I think this is an arc that we take this is a potential arc that we take, like, a year in the future. When I have a little bit more time and a little bit more money, I can imagine myself going down this arc. I like my hair color. I actually think my hair, I think I'm a light blonde, and I think that is, or maybe I'm dark blonde. I don't know what I am right now. I don't think about my hair color. What am I? Yeah, I'm like a lighter blonde, I think. Sorry, not a lighter blonde, a lighter brown. How do I say blonde? Brunette, yeah, definitely. My hair is super light. I've always had people tell me that. My hair is very, it's soft. My hair is soft. I've got soft hair. That's what they all say. Which is kind of why I like it being, like, because my hair is soft, dude. It's very nice to run I like running my fingers through my own hair. It's just soft ass hair, dude. And it's like nice having a lot of it because I can just do this. It's like, wow. Ooh. Feels good. My hair feels good, man. What can I say? I got good feeling hair. I do not have black hair. And black hair is... I was never destined to have black hair. I grew up as a blonde man. I grew up fucking blonde, bro. You see me as a... You see some of my childhood pictures, bro? I was a blonde. Blonde is a mofo. I almost wish I could have kept a little bit of that. I think lighter hair would have been... I don't know. It would have been, like, more unique, I think. If I had kept, like, a little bit of blonde. That would have been sick. I should get... What I actually need are some blue eyes. I need some, like, green eyes or something. I need something to really stand out. When am I gonna get my fucking... I'm gonna put in some goddamn contacts that give me green eyes. That's what I'm gonna do. White hair growing on my eyebrow? Oh no. That's gotta hit like a truck when you found out. When you see the grays coming in, that's gotta hit like a goddamn missile. Shit's from my dad's side? I don't know, man. They're like... You just gotta rock the fucking Gojo cut, dude. You gotta dye it all white. Dye it all white, rock the Gojo cut. Imagine how sick it would be if I had naturally white hair. It was like perfectly healthy, it was just naturally stark white. Imagine how sick that would be, dude. And then I had it in this style. Imagine I had all of that and I did nothing with it. Imagine how fucking furious that would make you. You have this beautiful natural hair and you fucking just let it sit, bro. That shit would be hilarious. Match your skin tone? Probably not. Female? Bro, those AIs are fucking like they're paid to make you look good, okay? I don't believe them. I don't believe it, bro. It's profitable for them to make you look like a baddie. I don't believe it. I don't believe it. I'm not swayed by the liberal AI, okay? I'd like to get a run out of 6 today, but I already started off by saying my main runs were probably not going to be great, and it's turning out like that was the truth. I don't think I'm going to get a run out of 6. I've had a couple of opportunities, but all of them have kind of turned into potatoes, and you know, it's not great. I'm gonna say it right now. I made some dog shit for food this week. I've been kind of suffering through it a little bit, but I made some fucking dog shit, bro. I don't know what I did. I dumped all the spices in there and I didn't save it. I just had extra chicken that I needed to get rid of, and I also had noodles and tomatoes and fucking cauliflower, and it was too much, dude. I didn't realize. Like, I picked the 2 largest heads of cauliflower at the grocery store. It was so big, dude. I had too much. I had so much fucking cauliflower, and so I had all this cauliflower, and I'm like, all right, I gotta cook it. And then I had all this chicken. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna bake it too. So what I do with my chicken is that I kind of just bake it. And what I did is like, what if I tore it up and I added it to the tomato sauce? That was my fucking idea of the day. What if I tore up my chicken that I baked and added it to the tomato sauce to put on top of the noodles? That'd be interesting. Spoiler alert, it was not, and it tastes more bland. Oh shit. Oh, that's tragedy. But also, I've been on this thing recently where I want to eat beans every week. That's another thing I've been on. I've been on my Sheepo 3 needs to have beans I want to eat 2 cans of beans every week. Because I heard that beans are really good for you. I heard it on TikTok from a guy, and I said, you know what? It's got to be true. He cited some study that, like, oh, health outcomes in cultures that traditionally ate more beans have generally been more positive. And I said, fuck it. I'd believe it. So now I'm just eating a lot. I'm trying to eat beans every week. A little bit less meat and a little bit more beans. That's the mentality. I'm not that gassy. I have been a little bit more gassy. That is objectively true. Yeah, I'm just gonna delete that message just for my own sake. Bro did not just drop a laughing, crying emoji. See, I wanted to time out MJ, but I can't because it's so annoying giving him back his mod because it's a stupid fucking username. His stupid fucking username makes it so impossibly hard to give him back mod. So I can't even time him. I can't even time him out properly. Sometimes his ass needs to be timed out. Just to get some perspective on the thing. Can we do anything with it? Nope. Potatoes. Man, no level 6s today. Not a single level 6 hit. Can you imagine that? What's the reason now? The reason now is because you bait too much. That's the actual reason now, because you bait too much. And also, I really don't need more mods. Now, if there was, like I said, a sudden influx of, like, fucking viewers, and I needed some more mods to handle, you know, hey, you've been here. At that point, I'm kind of strapped for cash. But I don't need more mods. I don't need more moderators. I'm so okay. Honestly, it would probably go to Mira's first. Roses. No offense. A lot of offense. I thought the slang was that's on Gert. What's this Diriad? I thought it was that's on Gert. They said, yo, Gert. Dip, period. What does that mean? I am okay, I'm actually lost. I haven't been on this side of TikTok yet. Dip? Like, I know dip, but dip, period? I don't understand. Yeah. Are acting like girls are getting their nails done? That is based. Oh, you know what? Oh, dude, speaking of memes, that... Oh, dude, okay. This is one of the memes that I'm like, I should not laugh at this. Because it's objectively horrible. But it's so fucking funny. I don't know if you guys were around for, like, the 1 week where, like, the lion was on top. The 1 week, like 3 weeks ago, when everybody was talking about the lion. Everybody knows the lion, bro. It's not a good meme. The lion that doesn't. It chooses to exactly. That's the line. And it's like it's not like it's objectively just a rape joke. It's just a fucking rape joke, dude. It's just a rape joke. But it's just, dude, that image fucking kills me. The lion rapes everyone who speaks. Fucking shit killed me, dude. Oh my god. I'm like, I can't laugh at this. This is a terrible thing to laugh at. But it was really funny. Oh my god. I feel like I'm admitting to something bad that I've done. Like I'm the one who ate all the crayons. Imagine Sheepo 3 hits 6. Fucking imagine, because it won't happen. The lion rapes the small dog and he barks. It's such a great, like, twist. It's such a bold meme to make. Because, like, it's very clearly, like, twisting on, like, kind of the red pill, like, quote images, right? It's, like, very clearly a twist on that. Maybe not red pill, but just, like, the quote images in general. And it's just such a bold... It's so bold, dude. Like, who would be so brave to make that? And it fucking works. Somebody decided to take the plunge and make that shit, and it fucking hit. And that's crazy. Bro just made an uncalled for rape joke, and it fucking hit for whatever reason. That's powerful. The rape tag is used so often. That's crazy. That is wild. Bro got bullied off of Rule 34. Yeah, that was real. Was that actually the first one? I always thought that one was like, that was where I was like, oh, okay. That's not very funny. I didn't like that one. Somehow I preferred the sometimes I preferred the rape jokes to the sometimes I preferred the rape jokes to the racism jokes, because it felt like the rape jokes felt more like, I don't know, it felt everybody could participate in getting cracked by the lion. It was non-gendered, okay? Everybody was getting cracked by the lion, okay? The other one felt unnecessarily racialized. Everyone was getting cracked by the lion, bro. Not me though, well, because you didn't speak. You read and you understood. See, what MJ did was very smart, but also very dangerous. Just racism. I think that I prefer rape jokes. That's on good. I think I prefer rape jokes to racism jokes. That's right. Sheepo 3 said it. I've made my judgment. That one, I don't even know. That wasn't. People are just making up shit, bro. People like at least shut your bitch ass up. I think that one was good. I like that. I think I'ma keep it a buck is fucking awful. I think the only like real, I think one that's gonna The real piece of like the real shortening of text that's gonna hold to the long term is this shit. TS. I think TS is hanging on for the long. Yeah, exactly. That's hanging on for the long term. That's not going away anytime soon. Okay. We are living in a TS world, bro. That is the slang of the modern day. It was there before brain rot. I think that brain rot just turned it up because people started saying this TS. I love that. I love saying this TS. That shit is fucking. I think that's great. That's fantastic. Fantastic. Great humor. Good joke. MJ, I don't know, man. I don't know if I could ever imagine you as a baddie. Maybe you are a baddie, though. That's the thing about it. MJ could actually be... Because I actually have no idea what the... MJ is the fucking mystery, dude. MJ could be anything, but I can't imagine him being a baddie. I don't even know. Like, I wonder if MJ is just like a fucking little, like, loser little pussy boy in real life. I wonder if he's like me for real, for real. Where he be acting all crazy on my stream, but he's actually just a little pussy bitch. And that's why he's like, damn, this guy's real. Because you can look at the mirror image of yourself and make fun of it. And that's gotta be... That's gotta be cathartic, I think. I don't know, it might. Like I said, my tweets come from a fucking, a place of... Come from a broken place in my brain, I think. I think that's where the best sheep tweets come from, and I think that's where they will continue to come from for the foreseeable future. I think the more rational thought I try to put into a tweet, the worse it becomes. And I think it needs to start inherently from an irrational place. And then you can apply rationality to try and get to the point where it's funny, right? But it needs to start with something fucking stupid and dumb. I was thinking about buying some edibles on 420 because there's gonna be some fucking deals, brother. They're gonna be deals up the wazoo, my brother. It's gonna be cheap weed. 420. And I like getting high. Getting high is very enjoyable. Yeah, there's one thing I like in this world. There's two things I like in this world. One thing I like in this world. Multiple things I like in this world. Ice cream. Pizza. Edibles. What else? What else is on the list of things that I like? I like warm beds when they're super comfortable. Oh, my parents know all this. No, I was gonna actually get a fucking run for a chance, and then I fucked it up. Thanks, sheep. Stupid, stupid, stupid. Stupid little boy can't even fucking do his fucking run right. Can't even do his stupid fucking little run right, huh? Is that it, huh? You can't even do it correctly? I don't like the word sissy. I think sissy is... I am actually opposed to that word. Entirely. There's nothing fun about that word. No, I don't do... I think that kind of shit is fucking crazy. The people that like that kind of degradation, bro, that shit is fucking... Those people are fucking crazy to me. I will never understand those people. People who go that wild on it. Like, oh my god, dude, are you okay? Like, call me the worst fucking names imaginable. Like, what, dude? Are you okay, my guy? like, I think, like, everything in moderation is fine. But bro, you're a fucking psycho, dude. There's just no way you're into this. Oh my god. It's not even that, bro. Like I can imagine some girl want to be called like, oh, you're bad. Like, I get that. Like, it just makes sense. It's just like dirty talk. I don't know. It makes sense to me. But like, sissy is such a fucking ugh. It is such an emasculating word. It is such an emasculating word. I could never imagine that shit, bro. What are you? What are you, bro? That shit is so crazy to me. I'm not built for that. I know, it's emasculating as fuck. That's why I don't like it. It's really like, it's like, it gets to a point. It gets to a point, okay? The hawk too, huh? See, it shows a lot about their character. I don't know. I think that shit's. I think you're a freaky frog for that. I think that you are. I think that you're gonna make a fucking guy sit in his own mind questioning what the fuck he did to you to get that. You're gonna make some guy super insecure for like a week. You're gonna fuck up somebody's mental for a hot minute, bro. That's not a good thing, bro. You shouldn't want that. Oh my god, you fuckers are psychos, bro. Some of you women, bro, you just want to see men burn because it makes you happy. You want to see men burn and you want to warm your hands by the fire. That shit is so crazy to me. Alpha. I don't think nobody talks about being a fucking no fucking dude is like, I'm going out there talking about being an alpha. I don't think that fucking happens. I think that's like a couple of guys that are psychos. I don't know. Maybe I'm just too normal to imagine all this shit. Going outside about how alpha I am. God, that's got to be such a fucking. That's got to be so bitch made. Is my first sauna. Go outside. Hey, maybe I should go outside. But that shit seems so crazy to me. They have alpha in their bio. Man, I don't know. Maybe that's just a Twitter thing. Those are the creeps that are ruining it for all the rest of us good guys. We're just nice guys, dude. And all these creeps are ruining it for all the good ones. Dick pics only to guys. Only if their pronouns are he, him. I send them dick pics. It's more for like it's more like a competition thing more than anything. It's more like again, it's like asserting dominance, right? It's like, can you compare? And normally they don't, and so it's like, I win. Nice guys always finish last. True. God, men really are the most oppressed. Thank God that you can end the stream kind of agreeing to the facts of the matter. Alright, ladies and gentlemen. It's been real. It's been fun. It's been real fun, but I've got to get out of here. I'm going to go be oppressed by myself in my room. Finish it. I'm trying. It's long, and it can be a hard read sometimes because I don't want to be sad all the time. All right, MJ. I don't want to be sad sometimes. I want to be happy. But either way, being sad is important because it makes you based. Being sad is important because it makes you more based as a person. All right. Either way, bye. Peace.